Why the fuck not start the stream now? So, let's see if my button works. And it kinda does. My button kinda works. Although, you can't hear the gaggle fucks in the background. It means that it took a couple seconds for it to work. That's probably because I had the transitions all fucked. I'll work on it later. Oh, no. I have you all purposely muted right now. Although I did fuck up and did not locate my bottle opener, I do have my cheap ass fucking pocket watch or pocket knife right here. I'm sure I could open a beer bottle with a pocket watch. I'm sure I could. So, before we start, I told my players about this, and I wanted to say that this first session is dedicated to a few people I've lost over the last couple years. My Grandpa Ed, my Uncle Willie, and my Uncle John, who passed fairly recently. They're fantastic men, great men who helped me and my family far beyond what anyone could ever ask them to do. And I feel that it is perfectly appropriate for me to start this new era of not only streaming but my hobby to dedicate this to them. So, to those who wish to join me, I drink in their memory. And before that, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Cheers, Zig.
Cheers, Zig. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
It's gonna be a great period of time for us going forward, brother.
Oh, so they can hear you now.
Oh, yeah.
I
It'll
don't
be
want
awesome.
people to hear me. I'm self-conscious about my voice. Mute me.
Hey, you consented.
I don't want to talk.
By hopping in this voice chat, you consented.
Man.
Just because Daisy has a gun to your balls doesn't mean you didn't consent.
Someone get the 357 away from the jewels.
You're thinking she's awfully generous. Thinking that that's not double-barrel dragon's breath.
Oh. See, that's worse than what I was.
That's a spicy meatball.
So, why don't I do something I should have done a few minutes ago and opened up my little notes thing? And get this intro out of the way.
What?
That's the wrong intro. That is the one that was not reviewed and aided by the Snail and Mully.
Thank you for reminding me that I need to get my fucking notepad out.
Yeah, notes are the DM's bane.
I'm using an actual notepad and a pen.
I have no
and
fucking
I'll type
pen.
them out.
You were at a computer!
No.
Your computer has a notepad.
I prefer to write. Screw you.
Okay, let me read. The cracking of branches and creaking of dying trees stalk you in your travels through the Kesselwald forest. The animals which were once so prevalent in these woods are now scarce, and those which remain are sickly or scavengers. Rumors say the meteor that struck Drakkenheim years ago had cursed the land, and now nothing lives or grows near it, and the Civil War only further clouded the truth. Stories of unnatural magic, incomprehensible creatures, and riches beyond comparison emerged, drawing the brave and the foolish to the forsaken capital of Westemar. You were hired to find a druid who hasn't returned from that city for weeks, and their last message mentioned only the stubborn village on the outskirts of Drakkenheim and the rumors of an unusual prince that may have answers for the Raven Grove. A few miles south of Drakkenheim lies Emberwood Village, a humble crossroads along Champion's Way, surrounded by forsaken farmsteads, dark pine forests, and bordered by the Duran River. Many residents are Many residences are abandoned and slowly deteriorating, with their windows and doors nailed shut. However, the village center is alive with activity. Conversation, laughter, and music resound from the several taverns along the main thoroughfare. Amidst a bustling market square, a small crowd of adventurers, merchants, and prospectors busily traffic all manners of weapons, equipment, coins, recovered treasures, and a few strange glimmering crystals. Even the light of the sacred flame still glows within the modest stone chapel at the heart of town. Let me bring us to that scene. Hopefully, this is the right Emberwood. It is the right Emberwood. The big fucking map, too.
The one that we haven't blown up yet.
You know, doing this, I'm always heavily considering just popping up the places like name tags as they're talked about. But,
Yeah, I'm trying to.
well, I haven't put anyone's tokens on the map. This is just a scene setter because we haven't really decided where the fuck anyone is yet. Although I do wish they had a better little section for handouts.
Mm.
Oh well, I'll work on that as we go. And today we are joined by our lovely cast. Starting with Ohana will go alphabetically.
Okie dokie. So I am playing Sprock Kneecapper, a Fey Goblin Barbarian, who is the last member of his clan after they were wiped out while he was a baby when the meteor dropped some 15 years ago. He was raised by a hidden band of druids and spent his time foraging through the ruins of Drakkenheim, training up his combat skills. He once made a good friend who he saved in the ruins, but that friend disappeared some years ago. Since then, he's just been taking on odd jobs when he can find them, with the aim of taking down as many monsters as he can along the way, as he blames them for the destruction of his clan.
Then that would lead us to Zemoose.
I am playing as Hunter's Moon, a human reborn who is under the. He is a priest for Arwen, the goddess of the moon and protection, and well, hunting. He was he was left for dead by an assailant that he no longer remembers, and coming back to life only 3 days prior to the events of this campaign, he has vowed to seek revenge for not only himself, but for every nighttime traveler that is harmed in Drakkenheim. And while doing it, maybe he can uncover his own past.
Then we finish off with Timmy, at least for now. We'll be joined by our next final player next session.
I'm playing a monk Lanishi. Name is Bastille Oversath. My story is my monk was born in Ilaria with the Silver Order, but I was mostly raised by my grandfather. Trying to
Give as much or little as you wish. All I've asked is
sorry.
your name, race, and class. Everything else is just butter.
Okay, my grandfather, who mostly raised me, and he was a mage born. He tried to teach me about magic, and when I was young, and when I was 20, my grandfather was killed, and my father and mother was with the Silver Order, so I ran away with them. Ran away from them to the Paradox Castle to learn more about magic and with my fighting style, and to also try to investigate my grandfather's death. And then I went, and then after that I went to and then I started doing mercenary work with the enforcers around Westemar during the Civil War, and I saw one of my friends get killed in a battle, and I tried to investigate that, and I never got anywhere, and then I fell in with the followers of the Falling Fire, and I've been with them since the Civil War.
Alrighty.
I should also mention, because I'm dumb, I forgot to say playing as a cleric.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up, but you did say priest.
Yeah, implied.
I mean, either way, they're
What-
gonna see your sheets throughout
I-
the campaign.
It's not my
do
fault I can't
follow
speak
a-
proper English.
I do follow an old god. Do I need it?
I'm pretty sure everyone that is present does.
Okay.
My only major issue with the PDF for this is that the table of contents is not clickable.
Oh,
Oh well, that's why we had that handy dandy bar that I could drop down, but none of you can see that, and that's intentional. I don't want to spoil shit.
how dare you make it interesting for your players? Bad.
So, you do arrive at town, and I'm gonna go ahead and put your... That's Dew Delirium. We don't need Dew Delirium. Wow, they actually made this one snappable. Awesome. Oh wait,
I forgot I named him that.
What?
I named my delirium source word Dew Delirium.
I mean, you could change it anytime.
I've already spent most of my time coming up with this character, okay? I don't have the capacity. I'm not Alhana.
I am very confused. Why does Bistel have an AC of 10 on this? Yeah, monks have unarmored defense. It's 10 plus your dex mod plus your wisdom mod. So you'd have 15. There we go.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why I was confused, because monks, even if you have a +0 to everything, have 10, and I know you have more than +1. Okay, so I did put your tokens on the map. I somehow found a Reese's egg in my pocket that I forgot about. And you may take this moment to explore and interact with the world around you. I will actually take my own advice and put some fucking... Oh no.
There we are. There we are.
Map.
Okay, just to
Here's my
clarify,
little
because I haven't seen this
friend.
before, I'm supposed to have a label on my token, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Uh-oh. I think I fucked up the map. Where the fuck did everything go? My labels are gone! God damn it. Oh well. We will worry about that later, because I don't know how to undo. It's roll 20.
So we're
So,
supposed to just go around and figure out about we're trying to find a druid, right?
yeah, your last... I don't want to call it a hook, because it's not. Your last lead was Emberwood Village. Or that he visited Emberwood Village.
Emberwood.
So,
And this is Emberwood.
Is this the first time we're all seeing each other here?
you were all hired by the
Yeah.
same person, so you've at least met. You might not have actually talked to each other yet, or at least gone over some details yet. But you at least know each other's name.
Okay. And you, Moose, your name is Hunter's Moon?
For now, yes. My real name is
'Kay.
unclear to me.
And I'm totally not going to abuse that.
Okay, now I'm just scared. Fucking.
Hey, you said I could.
Man.
I was given permissions. Not my fault.
So he came to the Emberwood Village.
Yeah.
Any inns, any taverns?
There's three separate taverns if you wanted to go to one of them. The center of town, I wish that it didn't delete, but the center of town here does have several caravans with people talking to each other there. And
Kind of like a merchant.
you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna color coordinate shit. Where's my drawing tool?
Because I want to go investigate. You know what I'm saying?
Oh god, it's the line tool. No. Freehand. Gold is going to be the gold is going to be the center of town for commerce. Blue is the chapel. Then I'll put red for the bars because I got to figure out the rest of this later. Bar, and the third one is down here because I don't know what the fuck I did.
You said the blue is the chapel, right?
Yeah, that would be the chapel of the Sacred Fire.
Oh, okay. Chapel.
Okay, well, I think I'm just going to start this off by just doing a little bit of role playing here, and I'm going to walk up to one of these buildings, not really paying any mind to my party members at the moment since they haven't spoken to me yet. And I am going to paint a symbol of a crescent moon upon one of these buildings to mark it to let people know that this area is currently under my protection.
Alright, so is it a crescent moon or is the symbol of Arwen?
Well, the symbol of Arwen, I thought that her symbol was a crescent moon.
It is, but there's extra little details.
Oh, right. Yeah, the little circular thing and all that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm putting down the symbol of Arwen, just painting it along the walls of this particular building here. So that way when people pass, they can see the symbol.
All right.
I can see him doing this, right?
He is not hiding it. Like it's a non-zero chance you may have encountered each other in the past because you all have connection to the old gods and all throughout not only Kesselwald but through Westemar there are still dozens if not hundreds of shrines to the old gods. Like it's very much the minority religion now, but pretty much everyone has seen worshippers of the old gods at some point.
Mm. I think I'm going to go mosey on my way to the what was the yellow? That's the main part of town, right?
Yeah, that would be Caravan Court, which is where most people are doing their trade. I figure yellow would be good because gold.
Ah, cool. Yeah. So a merchant type place.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spock's
Yeah,
wandered up that way as well.
I'm gonna mosey on up there. While I'm looking at the Arwen thing, weird. Looking at you.
Do I notice the weird look that he's giving me?
Uh, you would, even if you don't notice him, by the time you finish, you do have a couple people in, priest robes looking at you.
I turn around and face the priests and look at them just as puzzled. Have you never encountered a priest of Arwen before?
Am I in earshot?
Uh,
I'm pretty.
what is the measurements on this map?
I'm pretty far away, actually.
They don't have a key on here,
Put it
so
on
let's
here.
see if the rolling
Oh,
yeah, 100 feet.
damn.
You'll still be able to hear it if they're loud enough. The priest says, it's not that I haven't seen it, it's just I'm surprised one of your kind would come into the city. Or rather, any civilization.
As of now, civilization is under threat, which promotes people like me from being here, protecting those who travel at night. I am simply doing my duty. I hope that you understand.
He looks over your attire. Are you wearing any, symbols of the old gods on you, openly?
Um, I would be concealing under my cloak a symbol of Arwen wrapped around my neck.
But there's no, like, symbol of the old gods, like, worn openly.
No.
Alright.
As it stands, my cloak is currently covering my body as if like it's like a shroud.
He says, well, so long as you take responsibility and wipe that off if the owner asks you to, I guess we will not cause issue for now.
Thank you. All I am doing here is protection as simply and completely as possible. If you have any favors that you need of me, do not hesitate to ask.
Uh, a, a fairly, uh, portly, woman approaches the two men and asks you, are my followers bothering you, sir?
No, madam. They are simply letting me know the rules of this town, and I will obey them accordingly if need be.
So long as they are not trying to force you off the path, so long as they are not straying from their path, I don't. She wipes her brow for a moment and says, forgive me. And get the fuck out of my chat. Moderators, creases Jordans. Yay, follow bots.
Ah. I look at the woman who just, put her hand over her brow and ask her if she is feeling well.
Just exhausted. We had a group of people coming from the city who were very sick.
What kind of sickness, may I ask?
The city has a blight upon it. And while me and the rest of the Silver Order are seeking to rid this problem, it seems to be just too much for someone as lowly as I.
I. Hold on. Give me just a second. I'm going to spare a little bit of food from my pack and hand it to her and say, it may not be much, but it will help you replenish your strength.
She bows her head low, says, "The light bless this one for their kindness. If you need something of us, you are free to come in and ask for me." She holds out her hand and says, "My name is Flamekeeper Ophelia Reed. If there is a favor you may ask, I will promise that I will at least hear you out."
Now that you mention it, I do have business here that you might be of use for.
Oh?
We're on our way to investigate a lead that has led us here. And my brain has already forgotten what the fuck the lead was because my notes are fucking closed.
The druid, and does the druid have a name?
Yeah, okay, yes, thank you. We are here investigating the leads of a missing druid, which has led us here to the Emberwood Village. I understand that he has departed from here not too long ago. Or maybe even is still around the area. Do you know anything about this?
I hear
Drew.
this conversation. I mosey up.
Druid, you say? Would you happen to know which flock he was part of? Which grove?
I believe that he was a part of the Raven
Raven.
Grove.
I think I heard something about it, but I've only I can only say I have seen the man. I have not talked to him. One of the Raven Grove is quite rare in Emberwood.
All the more reason why I am worried about his disappearance. Do you know of anyone in this town who has spoken with him, or where he has stayed?
Uh, I would say one of the merchants or one of the inns would be more likely. I have yet to see someone who travels like the druids who doesn't wish to partake in meals or at least try to gather more supplies for themselves. Even one of the wild, it would be suicide to not gather supplies when you can.
And have you noticed any strange activities since his arrival here? Maybe people tailing him, observing him?
Mm, not that. However, there are those within my order who would be less than hospitable to someone of the Raven Grove. Those who worship death are very rarely welcomed.
Death is a part of life, it's an aspect of all things.
I agree. But not
Do
many
you
are
see it?
not many are willing to welcome death into their life, for it is natural to fear it.
He nods his head and then Hunter's Moon nods his head and notices that notices the comment that she made earlier. What do you mean by some of those who are in your order would be less hospitable? Anyone here?
Mm, I am sorry, but while I cannot lie, I do not have the authority to give that type of information. It is also my duty to protect those in my order. If you were somehow to find the knight command or the knight captain, perhaps he will be able to help you, but he is not in town today.
May I ask where his whereabouts are?
The last I heard of him, he was at Camp Dawn, heading his way into the city.
Hmm.
For for what purpose?
There is a strange crystal that grows within the city, and he wanted to see which way he could potentially destroy it with as little harm as possible. It is very unpredictable.
I remember hearing tales of these strange crystals not long before I awoke. Do you Sorry, let me rephrase that. What kind of manner of crystal is this? Is it volatile?
Extremely. There are those who have touched it with their bare hands and it has burned them and changed them. Ways that I can only say as unholy. Something that even gives me nightmares.
Then
We,
rest assured, be not afeared. I will not let it befall this town.
thank you, sir.
What she says is true. The purple crystal goes all over the city. But you go up there long enough, you'll learn how to avoid it.
I didn't realize that you could talk.
Of course I talk. Why wouldn't I?
You've been awfully quiet this entire time, and you've barely uttered a word to me. I just assumed that you were mute.
Yeah, not had much to
Bring it
talk
over.
about.
I'm
You will
guessing
have
that's
to
the dog
you will
food.
have to excuse
know.
my carelessness.
You're
Been a
excused.
long time since I seen a follower of Arwen.
Not many of us around these days. Even fewer go around stating that we are followers of Arwen. Most of the followers keep to the forests. We prefer it that way.
Last time I seen the statue, I was horrified.
Do not be afraid of Mother Arwen. She will embrace you if that is what you desire.
Formal apology if you hear the stream mascot whining at me. She is staring at me right now.
Jamesy, we love you, Jamesy.
If
I
you heard
will.
what she said,
Sir, I just realized that my dragon's not on screen. Where the fuck is my dragon?
if you notice what she said that we could go. I think I will go investigate to the merchants
I will
and see
accompany
what
you.
they have to say.
I bow my head to the woman who I was speaking to, as well as the followers of the Sacred Flame, and tell them, may the blessing of Arwen be upon you.
There, no, I have my dragon on screen.
Thank you for the information.
If you happen to be harmed by this crystal, you're more than welcome to come by the chapel and one of us will treat you. Although we may have to charge you.
I just look at her and I go, as a priest, I'm afraid I don't make much money. But I will remember your offer.
I'm sure we will be able to find some way to balance those scales. Not many enjoy having a debt over their heads. Flame be with you. And she returns to the chapel.
Well, if you longshanks are checking out merchants, I'll check out the taverns.
I realize I should
Alright.
probably mute the Bloodborne sounds on my opera for these streams.
Let's think. What would a druid get? Where would he go?
I want, in order to answer that question, I will do an investigation check to just see what the vendors are selling. I probably don't even need to make a check, honestly.
I was gonna ask that too, but that's up to
That is up to the Zigathy.
I'm sorry, wife was asking about giving wet food to the mascot. Because
you can.
some fucking lizard bought me $60 worth of wet food for this little gremlin. I asked for 2 cans, $4, and the fucker sent me almost 60. $60 fucking dollars worth of food.
Are you surprised?
I'm grumpy. It's bad enough I wasn't able to get those extra fucking lines. It's bad enough I couldn't get those extra lines off my account because I don't have enough money right now, but one thing at a time. I'll keep that shit off stream. Alright, so y'all were heading into the center of town, and it looks like Sprock wanted to
Yeah.
go over to a tavern.
Mhm. And we also wanted to see if we had to do an investigation check to see what type of merchants there were, or did we not?
I have a little thing on. Right, I was supposed to. You know what? I have cards. I can use my cards and random magical items to decide what magic items they have. Although I can't promise you can buy anything yet. They're all level
Random bullshit,
ones.
Go.
Oh,
All right, there are
We're all-
4 main carts that seem to be peddling wares right now. One that has written in fine, in a very finely crafted, hand-painted font called Marlowe's Provisions. One that has the name Gainsbury Expeditionary Supply Company branded into the wood of the cart. Another with a wooden sign hanging from the front called Fairweather Trades and Exports. And the last one whose cart is glowing with some sort of magical lettering saying Aldor's the Immense's Magical Mischiefs.
I would like to go to the magical mischief, and I'm gonna ask him some questions.
This is a very large, purple-skinned man who,
Oh,
he holds a hand out for you for 1 second while he's handling another customer and hands over a quiver of glistening golden arrows to them. After a few moments, he turns to you and says, "And how may I help you today?"
hey, sir. I was wanting you to ask you some questions.
Yes, my wares are right here. However, I will have to tell you right now, the prices are not negotiable.
Ah. No bartering, I see. Well, at the moment, I'm here to ask. In the past few days, has there been any suspicious folk, any druid around here asking for your wares?
Suspicious. I'm sorry, but everyone here that comes to this city is suspicious. I don't know a single one of them that I would call sane. But druid, that does narrow it down. The druid, I'm guessing, is the
Raven.
same one who was asking about the prince in the city, yes?
Yes, that's what I'm looking for.
Ah, yes. That man was very interesting. Bought about 2 months worth of food off of me. Cost him a pretty coin, too.
2 months. Is that all he bought off of you?
Well, from me, yes, but very few only visit one of us. But I can hardly blame them. Not many have the coin to keep up with the magical items that I provide. He
D-
he holds out a bag and says, or the bag itself is maybe small enough to fit in your palm, and says, "This is really all he got from me."
And what's in the small bag?
Uh, he opens it, and inside is uh a number of berries in them. The bag itself, when you reach out to open it, gives a light tingle across your fingers, as if the bag itself is enchanted.
Um, is there a? Do you have a enchantment on this? No, bad wording. No, let me say it again. What is with this bag?
Oh, I have to deal with a few others. Just a little trickery from my home. It allows me to preserve food for a much, much longer time, even to get around fancy little enchantments.
Hearing the
Did you see
conversation,
him?
I want to walk over to where Bastille is and just join in the conversation, mostly just passively observing.
Did you see him talking with anyone or meeting with anybody?
He talked to those of the hooded lanterns about 3 hours before he left. But I don't keep too much of an eye of those who aren't looking to spend coin. If you're near me, I will care, but if you leave, well, the odds are your wares may end up on my table.
Real big question. I no, never mind.
You can ask.
I answered. Well, I was gonna ask if I are you in the Hooded Lanterns still or no because you died.
I technically, are you talking to me?
Yes. Would I
Well,
know or not?
well, no, no.
The thing about
Okay.
Reborns is
Okay.
that they lose a lot of their memories.
That's why I'm having a hard time
I was
answering your
just
fucking questions.
So he likely does not remember a fucking thing about his last life. He might remember his name eventually. He might recognize faces. But Reborns, because they're pretty much
Oh.
written just for Curse of Strahd, they're fucking weird.
Yes, I am a weirdo. Hi, that's me.
Meanwhile, I got my peanut butter whiskey ready because of you gaggle fucks. I know this group too well.
I am allowed to meditate and get somewhat of an idea. I think I'm allowed to roll when I meditate to like see what kind of memories I can bring back up, but I think I need to do that during a rest.
Yeah.
Well, I could work. I've done missions with him.
Yes, but I am wearing a mask and a hood. You would not recognize me.
I don't know. No, that's not what I'm saying, though. You know what I mean? I'm just saying I know who the hell they are. Thank you, sir. It was nice. Thank you for the information. You go on about your day.
Nods his head, and we'll cut over to Sprock for a moment. Sprock?
Alright, Spock walks into the first tavern.
It would
his heavy
be in the Gilded Lily.
He'll walk his heavy boots over to the bar, climb up to a stall, and barkeep, ale, please.
He nods over to you, already holding a bottle and glass in his hand, a bottle of wine in his hand, and says, "And how may I help you today?"
Yes, I just said. Ale, you deaf?
He turns his head towards you, and he is actually missing an ear.
Sorry about that. Yes, ale, please.
Nods his head and gives you a, it's smaller than what you're used to, but he does give you a, small glass of ale and says, 1 copper will cover that.
Dives into his coin purse on his waist, pulls out a copper, hands it over. There you go. While I'm here, looking for a druid. Raven brother, you see him?
He scratches his chin for a minute and says, I don't quite know if he was a druid, but I certainly saw someone that had what you would think of a druid appearance. Tall, dark, dirty. Not a big fan of beef. But someone like that came in here maybe a week ago.
Sounds like the person. Did he speak to anyone?
He asked about the prince in the city, but no one's heard of Leonard in years. But when I said that, he said that's not the one he's talking about.
Other prince?
No,
I
the
know.
Von Kessels only had 1 boy.
That's what I heard. Very curious.
When he talked to me, he said that he was led to one of the taverns near the city. And that's really all the information I got out of him. He bought a plate of just potatoes and greens, ate, and left.
Did he say what tavern in the city?
No, he said that it was near the river. Or at least within walking distance of the river. He seemed impatient with me. I don't like sending my customers elsewhere, but I would say that either those brutes over at the Skull and Sword would know, or one of the Hooded Lanterns would know. If anyone knows anything when it comes to gossip, it would be the Lanterns or those who work for the Queensmen.
Where would I find those people?
Across the street, you will see a skull on a sword, and that's the building you want to go into. Fair warning, they get twitchy if you don't greet the skull in some way.
Oh, okie. I'll finish my drink and head over there then. Thank you. He just downs his ale in one and starts to get up.
A bit of a benefit to you to get out, because as you put down the cup, someone steps on the stage, starts to do what they would think is singing, but it's just horrendous. You've heard kobolds who are more melodic.
Who let the strangle cat in? Don't give up your day job. Spock just heads to the door and heads out and starts walking across the street.
As Sprague is exiting the building, I try to come into the bar, simply just looking for you to catch up on the information that we have. And Hunter's Moon damn near trips on you.
What way are you going, Longshank?
And I follow Moose too, and then I start hearing this weird screech coming from inside, so I start walking away from it.
Good choice. Someone's strangling a cat in there. Got some information.
What you
Druid,
got?
Druid apparently heading towards a tavern by the river in the city. And was told to check with Hooded Lantern or Queensman over in bar over there.
We were
Ah,
told
I
we
just
were
talked
told
to
that
him.
he cohorted. Bleh. We were told also that he cohorted with the Hooded Lanterns as well.
With
Spoke to him.
Overhead. Do you know where they preside?
Yeah,
Where they
was,
are?
was told in bar over here.
Now do me a favor and walk in
Yeah.
front of me.
No problem.
Being mean to the
And
goblin.
remember to
Goblins
look
aren't even that short.
Yes, but I am recently come back from the dead. You really think I have my 20/20 vision yet?
I mean, again,
His
what the
eyes are
owl
still
said. Alright. You walk towards the Skull and Sword Tap House. The saloon seems that it was converted from some old farmstead. A jawless skull impaled on a rusty sword is embedded beside the main door. The door itself looks like it was fairly sturdy at one point. Has stains that you can't quite identify and is cracked in several places. It's as uh as you approach it, you do hear it's fairly noisy inside. The sound of glasses and yelling can be heard very clearly from outside the door.
Sounds lively. Shall we?
And I thought I was going to get bored in this town. I just look at the skull and bow my head to it and say to it, Arwen, lay your heart to rest.
I
Hi,
see what.
Skull. Hope you're doing well. And then opens the door and walks in.
I kind of give the skull a salute and say, "Have a good day," and I walk in.
Inside is immediately you find two men brawling, surrounded by
Oh,
about 8 other people, and each one has some form of currency or tradable goods in their hand, as if they're betting on who's going to win. The barkeep is uh walking to the front of his bar, appearing to have some sort of club in his hands, and he's just kind of sitting there with it folded in his arm in case someone gets too close.
oh.
After, go ahead.
I actually forgot my train of thought, so you go ahead. I am sorry.
I mean, this is a group full of people with ADHD, so. Listen, we have about 1,000,000 thoughts per minute. The odds of one staying is like trying to hit a dartboard from 100 yards. But
Rookie fucking numbers.
after about 20 or so seconds, you hear a loud crack, then glass shattering, a loud thud, And then everyone starts cheering. People exchange some of the goods that were being bet, and there's just a halfling standing on top of a half orc.
Oh, Samwise Gamgee got his get back, I'll tell you what.
Hunter's Moon looks over at the barkeep, keeping a reasonable distance with his arms crossed, noticing the club in his hands, and makes a comment of, "Are you expecting fun tonight?"
No, just making sure no one breaks the bottles without paying for them. I don't care about the brawls, the tables are replaced before sunrise. Let someone waste those bottles, I'm making sure they drink every drop, including the glass.
I come over and I hear this and go, so this is normal around here.
It keeps the drink and gold flowing, so I don't care. Well, a couple weeks ago we had a Goliath coming in using a tree stump as a table. That didn't last long. Someone stole it the next night.
I'm surprised he didn't use it as a weapon in one of these bar fights.
Why would I? I got a piece from one of the old warships right here.
Oh, dang it.
As you actually look, it looks like it's just a half of a steering wheel from a ship that is just crudely strapped to a 2x4.
Oh,
Always make sure things are ship shape when it goes down.
And who says efficacy has to be pretty?
And that I have to agree.
Speaking of efficacy, would you mind if I bend your ear on some business?
Depends.
We were looking for a druid of the Raven Grove Coven. We were told that all leads point us here. I am hoping that you have some information on this matter.
He around this time he's gone behind the bar again, put a cup on the table, and is holding out his hand.
I do not drink.
I do. Poor.
all right, give it to the goblin.
5 copper for something weak, 1 silver for something nice.
Something nice.
He gets a few shot glasses out.
I don't drink when I'm on business. Nah.
Did Daisy go under me? No. The audio on my headset just went wonky. Oh well. I'll fix it when it comes. So he he looks at it and says, brandy, rum, vodka, or gin. What's your poison?
Vodka.
He pours a shot of vodka, looks at you, and then gives you a wooden cup instead of a shot glass. It's still a shot of vodka, but less likely to break.
Spock squints his one good eye up at the guy, shakes his head, picks up the shot glass, and just downs it. Good stuff.
Yeah, if you want decent information, you go over to that weird-looking guy over there. You should be talking to tonight's victor. He points across the bar, and there is a man with short cropped black hair, a eye patch that is sitting on his forehead instead of over his eye, and he just has a stack of coins in front of him.
I walk over to this man. He's the quick question. He's the victor, right? One who just won.
No, the one
No, he's
who
talking
is counting gold is someone he was talking to.
Ah. I go over and I go, having fun tonight.
Ah, yes, yeah. Money's always good when there's something going on. So, you're going around asking about that Raven boy, ain't you?
Yes, I am. Do you have any information?
I do, but what do I get?
Ah. Question is, what are you looking? What? Gold? More gold? Already got a stack.
Yeah, but gold's never not able to be spent. With gold, I can get whatever the hell I want. And why wouldn't I? The city's rife for the taking. But, I'm maybe willing to sell you some information for a favor.
I assume that
be
this
able
is
to
the
help
kind
with
of
that.
favor that this. Bleh. I assume that this is the kind of favor where you don't ask questions.
No. You'll have to ask a question or two so I can tell you what exactly you're supposed to grab for me. But, well, yeah, if you get caught, you're on your own.
Grab.
Sounds like a typical Queensman.
Hey, whether or not you like us doesn't mean they can't see how good we are at our job.
I didn't say anything about not liking you, just saying it's typical.
One question. Is the favor personal or business?
Little both. Someone hasn't paid the Queen's ransom for the month, and, well, we are told that if he got a certain crossbow for us, we'd consider that debt wiped away for a couple weeks while he got the rest of the coin. But he sold the damn crossbow. And while I could get it, I don't see why I should be missing out on my drinks and a few extra bets just because some jackass didn't decide to pay up. You get me that crossbow, I'll tell you what you want to know.
I lean over to my companions and I go, what do you think?
Sounds simple enough.
It sounds.
All right.
It sounds easy enough for us.
Alright. That
Sounds
crossbow.
good to me.
That crossbow was given to that boy Merlo, one of the guys in the center of town. You get that off his table, I promise you, it's hard to miss it. Get that, I'll give you the answers to 6 questions. I'll throw an extra one in for free.
How generous of you.
How nice. Where was the place again? What was it called?
At Marlowe's Provisions. One of the caravans in the center of town.
Yeah.
I should have grabbed some water. Oh well. More beer. I mean, it is St. Patty's Day.
I am out of my first one. Alright. I think that's all the questions I'll have.
Well, I ain't answering nothing until you get that crossbow.
I'll see when I see you next. You'll have your damn crossbow.
That's what I like to hear. In the
So-
meantime, if you want to make an extra bet or two, I'm sure there's something else that's going to go down tonight.
Possible candidates?
Oh no.
Oh,
There's a couple card games going on later tonight.
Any particular known winners?
We'll see. Depends on if anyone comes back alive today.
The price of life is victory enough. I see. Well,
Alright, anything else you want to do in here?
not really.
no. I think I'm ready to go to that Marlowe's Provision.
Everyone in agreement?
Yep.
Sway.
The guide tells you you're looking for a crossbow that has some gold along the trigger and a little bit of pearl on the arms. You find that, you'll know it's it.
Okay, and Marlowe is still currently at his cart.
Yeah.
You want it? I've been.
Uh, sure. Actually, you know what? Let's Sprock do this.
Yeah, you want to do a sprawl?
You seem chatty tonight.
You see.
Sprock will walk up to the caravan and Longshank, you Mallow.
Yeah. Need some food?
No, that crossbow. Hand it over. It belongs to the Queensmen. Do it now if you value your kneecaps.
This crossbow belonged to my mother. I paid the Queensman to get it for me.
That's not what the Queensmen tell us.
He picks up the crossbow and shows you the butt of it that has a gold plate that says it says Eliza Marlowe on it.
Fancy, you stick that on there.
It would be hard for me to stick that on there considering that I have no skills with such equipment.
I'll have your word for that.
Yeah, I'm just someone who brings in food into the town. I don't. I'm guessing you're looking to see if anyone's watching.
I'm looking to see if he is telling the truth.
That would be insight.
Ah.
You're not entirely sure.
Well, then I will fuck around and find out. There.
And
remember glimpses of the past.
the crossbow.
When you make an ability check using that skill, you can roll a d6 immediately after getting the number. All right, so get ahead and give me the d6.
Fuck.
Damn.
It did not give me that, so
2.
You can't really tell if he's lying or not, but the dude seems very nervous.
And the crossbow with the gold and it showed. Did it have Did it have the pearls on it?
Yeah.
Right, look,
I
Longshank.
wish there was a way
All
I
I-
could see how old that imprinting was.
Uh,
Look, Longshank. All I know is Greensmen say they paid for that crossbow. They sent us to collect. By any means necessary. So I'll say again, hand it over if you value your kneecaps.
you can give me an intimidation check.
Oh, well then.
Hell yeah.
I love Roll20 not giving me my fucking numbers. He is visibly shaking at this point, and just drops the crossbow.
Wise move. And Spock picks up the crossbow and just starts walking back towards the bar.
I look
Thank
over
you for your
towards
copyright.
I look over towards Marlowe
you.
and I place a hand on his shoulder and I tell him I will personally find a way to reimburse you.
He does not believe you.
My word is my bond. Remember that when I come back here
Thank you.
next time.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Alright, see you, nerd.
I'm gonna be nice, you Barbie.
This is supposed to be. That's fine. I realized it wasn't infinitely looping. I can't tell if that's looping. No, it's looping. Okay, awesome.
I love how we're goblin and Tim and Helly.
And so, yeah, Spock walks into the bar, walks straight over to the Queensman. There you go. Told you it'd be easy.
Told you see your damn crossbow.
He is slack-jawed for a second. Did you just kill the man in broad daylight?
No. I just threatened his kneecaps. They don't call me kneecap for nothing.
What
You know
my
what?
little green friend is trying to say is that heart palpitations never killed anyone.
You know what? I told you I'd answer those questions if you got it, and you got it in unbelievable amount of time. So, what's your questions?
The druid, what did he talk about?
He was talking about visiting inns, or rather, just anywhere where drink is served. He said something about he said something about some new prince in the city, talking about how he was supposed to have some kind of magic power to prevent people from dying.
Did he tell you anything else about this prince?
Not too much about him. I mean, I put him into the last two bars in the city. You got Black Ivory and you got Rat's Nest. I mean, I go by Black Ivory and there ain't no one in there. I go by there at least once a week.
Longshank at the other tavern said something about a tavern by the river in the city. You know which one?
Honestly, it'd probably be the Rat's Nest. People say it's by the river, but it's more people's first stop on the way to the river. Old stories about this, about the city and all that.
You know if he talked to anyone else in town?
Yeah, he talked to some of those boys in green hoods. not too much to talk to them about. Usually it's just directions.
Did they seem amicable to him?
I mean, they're kind of the sorts who are always looking for a way to get more people to join them. I wouldn't really call them the religious type, but they're definitely the type that are trying to grab everyone they can. Honestly, if you ask me, I think the whole strength in numbers gimmick isn't really working for them.
Gotta strike from the shadows, right?
Tell you this. You try to talk to more of those people from the Hooded Lanterns. They're over by the Watchtower. They hang out there and they like to make it their business to see everyone who's coming in.
Sounds like lanterns. Always up in everyone's business.
Then we shouldn't be surprised that they know that we're here.
I mean, I knew you were here.
Yeah, clever trick that.
What could I say? You could get a lot done with just a little bit of a ham sandwich to the right kid.
Seems like favors are more of a currency in this city than gold is.
Favors, questions, answers, money, loot, whatever someone thinks has value is value. Tell you what, there's a lot of rumors going around this city. One of the best things you could do is collect rumors. Not a lot of them have truth to them, but the few that do, oh boy, might make or break your life. I'll give you this one for free. If you ever try going to the Old Rose Theater, just watch out for your nose. You might end up breaking it without realizing.
Are you talking about a barrier spell?
If you want to call it that. I always figure it's something to do with that weird haze in the city.
Hunter's Moon is now visibly confused. Haze?
Yeah, that weird purple mist that you can see at night. Don't stay in it too long. Trust me. Start feeling sick, then you'll start losing your hair. Next thing you know, you're growing an arm out of your ass. Seen it happen. Real weird. Kind of funny, though, because he started scratching his head with his ass.
Hmm. Why that fucking made me hold that one in.
Me too. I was going to say something, and I thought scratching his ass with his head.
I was about to say, I was gonna say, I've heard of people having their head up their ass, not their hand. Hmm. Fuck you, Zig. Oh, okay, I'm good. I promise.
Are you sure?
No, which is why we must continue.
I'm about to mute myself. I'm about to lap my
It has nothing to do with my THC intake. Fuck you.
At the moment, no.
Mm. Okay. I pulled a Timmy. I lost my train of thought. Fuck.
I don't know. It's a curse, ain't it?
It is.
And this
What
is
would-
why I like having looping music to avoid the dead air of my players just being broken.
So
Anyone else think of any other questions?
What's the fastest way to
I-
get to the tavern from this village?
Honestly, your best bet is just go through the city. Can't tell you what the fastest route is over there. I don't like crossing the bridge too much.
you going to the tavern by the river?
Why do you
Yeah,
not like? Oh, sorry.
yeah. The Rat's Nest Inn is the one that he mentioned.
That's not. And
Why do you not
Okay.
like crossing the bridge? Because of the haze that you mentioned?
I've seen a lot of weird things in this city. I don't want to imagine what's in the water in this city. Like even before the city was overran, I swear on that holy light that the people across the street worship, I saw a fish that had like 6 heads on it.
A friend of mine was a friend with a mutated fish.
No, not a fish like that weird guy right there. I'm talking about it was an
What?
actual fish that had like 6 heads on it. Someone tried to tell
I
me it was
look
a
at-
dragon,
I
but
look-
I know a dragon when I see one.
I look at Hunter's Moon with visible confusion. I look him up and down weirdly.
I think he was making a reference to the other Drakkenheim game.
Ah.
Because the Fox's
I
character is a
don't want-
Laneshi in that game.
I don't want to interrupt, but damn Mormons, damn, go away, you freaking missionary.
They're knocking on your door.
Yes.
Well, we can actually take this chance to take our 10-minute break, get your drinks, get your snacks, whatever else you need.
Don't make
How about
me
I
talk to
fucking
him,
mental? How about I fucking mentally recover from your hand up the ass joke?
Yeah,
Alright.
dude, I was trying hard not
So,
to let.
we're going to take
Don't-
our quick break, and we'll be back in like 10 minutes.
See you soon.
And we're back. I will eventually learn how to program my Streamlabs to make it so I automatically mute the right things every time I hit a button, but hey, first stream using the damn thing, so...
Skill
Also,
issues.
Daisy rejected the tortilla I threw at her because I think she's full.
I'm gonna take a hit. I'm gonna mute myself real quick.
So... Oh, we lost to Timmy in roll 20.
No, there he is.
Yeah, my technical difficulties real quick, but it's fixed. So.
Alright. But
Got it.
I believe our next stop was to check out the Hood and Lanterns.
Yeah.
Yes,
All
well,
along the watchtower.
You did ask about. Were you gonna go to the tavern by the river?
No, that would be
Hunter's Moon?
inside the actual city.
We'd have to travel
Oh.
pretty long way.
Yeah, about 2.5 hours.
I'm gonna go to the watchtower, right?
Yep, right at the bridge above the town.
Okay, so this place.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I follow Hunter's Moon.
Let's try moose.
And the Sprock.
Oh wait, I always have to make sure that Sprock's walking in front of me.
I'll step on him now. I'm gonna try to get not my slippery fish feet on you.
Well, I would ask one of you two to help me get my vision back, but I don't think Sprock is a very good expert on optics.
Want me to hit you real hard with my staff? Maybe I'll fix it.
Foxy's just fine, thank you. One good eye.
Hey, if you're lucky, you'll get a delirium mutation that gives you your eye back.
Hey!
Well, it won't give it back, it'll just give it somewhere else.
But that's one
Oh.
more eye that you didn't have.
Dang!
But,
Oh.
I may or may not have asked the guys who made Dungeons of Drakkenheim for their next book to expand the mutations table.
Ooh. Did they say anything back on that?
Well, they're just taking advice because they're starting to put the book together now.
More arcane anomalies.
Oh, okay. Fine. I love that.
I'm actually curious if yeah, the video's able to be found on YouTube now. As of 3 days ago, actually.
Amazeballs. I will bother you for link.
I will actually put the I'll actually just share that link on Twitter.
Hooray!
Because anyone else who wants to watch can find me at Ziggy Diggy Doo, spelled like it is on Twitch and pretty much everywhere else. You'll be able to follow for updates about the stream, the campaign, and pretty much anything else involving Drakkenheim lately. I have been obsessed with this setting.
It's my hyperfixation. Leave me alone.
I mean, I do believe my Twitch is linked to Twitter, so... So, heading over towards the watchtower, you're looking for the hooded lanterns of sorts. Outside you see a fairly tall man with olive-colored skin, dressed in leathers with a longbow hanging off of his shoulder. He seems to be talking to a few other people wearing green cloaks, and It almost seems as soon as he dismisses one, another comes running up to him.
Oh,
Can I hear what they're saying?
he
Go ahead and give me a perception check on that. Oh, fucking
may I
Gary.
do the same? May I also try to listen on the word?
So, Hunter, you hear bits and pieces of what seems to be him giving orders to locate someone named Petra.
Petra. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll put that down real quick.
You catch bits of that, and he seems almost ready to burst at someone.
Okay. And so he's still talking to the guy who just walked up to him about Petra at this moment. Very angry.
Yeah.
I am just going to stand in his peripheral vision nonchalantly and wait for him to finish up just to see if he'll notice me.
After a few seconds, he does. He gives a slight nod towards you, acknowledging you. And then, after this guy runs off, he looks at you and says, "Is there something I can help you with?"
As a matter of fact, there is. My name is Hunter's Moon, and I have come here on business regarding a certain druid of the Raven Grove.
Black coat, feathers in his hair, weird colored eyes.
Definitely sounds like the kind of druid I'm looking for.
He was asking about directions to the Rat's Nest Inn last time I talked to him.
And how did he seem to you?
Well stocked. Just got a big bag of good berries over from Aldor. Asked about going over towards Shepherd's Gate for a rest afterwards. I figured no one there would mind if he just stayed there the day, so long as he paid the usual tax.
And I understand that he was on business here locating what he calls a second prince of the Von Kessels. Has he ever mentioned that to any one of you?
Von Kessel Prince? No. He was searching for someone who was calling himself the Prince of the City. No, I would know the Von Kessel lineage. My father worked for them directly.
Prince of the city? Very presumptuous.
And we got someone out there calling themselves the Queen of Thieves. I'm not exactly respecting for those kinds of titles right now, unless it's from the Von Kessels or actual nobility.
Seems like this whole city is up for a power grab after this meteor fell.
Honestly, that'd be an understatement. The delirium's growing up everywhere, and people are selling it as much as they would anything else. There's times I see people carrying more delirium than food.
Carrying delirium? That's a bit risky.
It's worth gold, and gold spends. Sell it to the right people, it's worth more than its weight in gold.
Is it worth the mutation, though?
Some people, it might be. Just depends on how desperate you are.
People going mad to risk their minds for gold.
Is there anything else I can help you with? I'm sorry, but things are a little chaotic right now.
Yes, I couldn't help but noticing that you were about to burst at the seams there. You mind telling me what that was about?
Give me a persuasion check. Your
Hello.
your druid's not the only person missing. Right now, I'm trying to find one of our own.
Petra, as I am heard that she was called.
He can't quite see it, but you can't really see any change in his face, but he does shift how he's standing and says, yeah, she went missing about 2 weeks ago.
How can I help?
If you find her, I'm willing to pay for you. Right now, I'm putting 300 of my own gold out for anyone who can actually bring her back. 50 gold if you have any information that leads to her return.
I'd be honored to help. But, so do you not know of her whereabouts at the moment?
She was supposed to be heading back towards Shepherd's Gate, but she never got there. A couple of our scouts said that she did cross the Dran River, but once she got past the West Bank, no one saw anything of her.
Quick question. Petra, what was the first thing you said? Place you said?
Shepherd's Gate, which is also where the druid was seen going, so it seems we'll be heading that way anyway, so we'll definitely keep an eye out for your missing person.
Ansem opens a small, almost like a small cupboard outside of, or he opens a small cupboard on the inside of the building, revealing a map of the city. If the map ever comes into focus.
I was about to do that, honestly.
But he marks out, we're gonna go Hooded Lanterns green.
Yeah.
Shepherd's Gate over.
Yeah. So that is a very thin line.
Yeah, it is. It's hard to see.
Come on, roll 20.
Okay, large.
Okay, and Emberwood is to the west of here? To the west of that?
Yeah, southwest.
Southwest.
Bottom right corner.
Okay, now I came to focus. Emberwood is... It would say where Emberwood is, right?
Well, this is the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Emberwood is the arrow in the bottom right corner.
Oh.
It's about 2.5 hours walking away from the city.
Oh, okay. Here's the Dran River you were talking about, too.
Yep.
Yep, that's the river that runs all the way through the city.
Okay, I'm getting a little bit.
Yeah, 0.5, I put a small X on it, although I might actually put a bright green.
There's the
no,
X
that's ugly.
Oh, holy shit. Moldy pepperoni.
Yeet. I thought it was just gonna be a fucking mark. It's supposed to be freehand, you fuck.
Marking our fucking maps with MS Paint.
Pretty much, but it's better than what I would have done on Foundry.
We'll blame that on Tina.
That module was a mess. Alright.
Oh, the John Rivers. Oh, it goes through the city. Okay.
Yeah. If you need a map, I could sell you one for 5 silver.
I am afraid that I
No, I'll
personally am
take
light
it.
on funds.
Wait, I think I'm light on funds too. Wait a minute. Don't take my word.
Because I had that she was a fucking starting equipment.
Even with
Yeah, I need
even with
funds,
starting equipment,
sadly.
you should get a little bit of gold. Each of you should have
Oh.
at least 20 gold.
15, isn't it?
I may
Sure.
have I may have missed that. Don't worry about that.
Well, I figured clerics would have
I think
around 20. I don't... Whatever, 5e's a fucking mess.
I'm checking real quick.
I'm a monk. I'm a monk. I think I'm probably broke.
I think I'm broke.
Yeah.
Whatever,
broke.
you'll get money eventually.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, money usually comes in the background, and it's usually 15.
Oh, the background, you
Yeah.
say?
But sir, I've worked with your men before. It'd be an honor to find your missing person.
Well, it's usually 10 to 15. I've not seen much. Or if you're,
So,
a merchant,
so we're in this little.
if you're a merchant, as much as 25.
Yeah, it really doesn't say it on my Reborn's page, so I'm just gonna say that I'm broke, and I'll worry about money later.
You'll get money pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm not too worried.
And 5 silver is half of 1 gold.
Got it. Yeah, it's lore accurate. I'm a priest. I don't work for money.
I'm a monk, so I'm pretty much just.
Yeah, pretty much you'd be looking somewhere west of the Grand River.
It's also 4/5 of an electrum piece.
We don't mention the banned currency.
Yes, Fox
Oh.
loves Electrum.
Okay.
You know, electrum, they have actually thought about it, because electrum is a real metal, and it is a mixture of gold and silver, and is worth about half as much as gold. So, they have actually thought about it.
I do not believe in your made-up currency. I propose shitpost coin, thank you.
Then I'll drag us back over to Emberwood.
No, it's electrum, not Ethereum.
Oh, right. That's good, Alhana.
We gotta do the Boofer Brothers coin, bro. Do our own.
Why is everything trying to slide off my desk?
Alhana, you're
Do
invited
our
to the
own
company.
honor.
Company stockpiler. You're welcome.
Or do the Boofer Brothers coin.
Alright, so...
We gotta name it different.
Is there anything else you try to get from this guy? Any other information?
Have there been any other disappearances in the last, say, few weeks?
A number, at least within the city itself. Every now and then we expect at least 2 people to go missing, but usually find them dead or at least part of their clothing a few days later. But we haven't been able to find even her weapon.
So whatever took her fast.
And took everything. She has a path she likes to follow, but if she sees someone watching her, she'll always take a more blatant route.
Did she have any enemies in this town?
Not that I can think of, or at least not anyone who would want to get at her directly. If someone wanted to get at my dad, they might go after me or her.
Why would they want to go after your father?
Yeah, why would...
Because he's the head of the Hooded Lanterns.
Uh-huh.
And might I ask what your father's name is?
The Lord Commander Elias Drexel.
Ah. I have worked with the father.
Hunter's Moon just kind of blanks for a second, knowing, having a sort of mind-numbing remembrance of sorts, but he can't quite place what it is. But whatever it was, the name set it off.
I looked at Hunter's Moon with a visible confusion.
Hunter, the image you see is Elias Drexel's face filled with shame as he's beheading a man. Before you snap back to the moment.
Tell you what, can you two make a roll to see if you notice what's going on with me?
Yeah, because I was looking at you with confusion. So what?
Yeah.
What?
Perception.
Yeah,
Spock's not
perception.
paying attention.
I couldn't speak. Thank you. Oh, jeez. I can't speak
Perception
either.
or insight would be something for that.
I'll go.
Okay.
Oh,
so
why?
neither of you notice.
Oh.
Hunter's Moon just, after a few seconds, calmly breathes out and recomposes himself. And he looks at Ansem, correct?
Mm-hmm.
He looks at Ansem and says, "I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. Would Petra have any debts to make up for?"
No, wasn't the type to gamble. Wasn't the type to take anything without being able to pay it. She very much didn't like having anything that someone could hold over her head. She wouldn't even owe me a favor.
And no one has come in through this town in the last few days, specifically to keep an eye on you, follow
No.
Petra.
No, I mean, my father sends people every now and then to check on me, but it used to be that Petra and I would swap off every week or so on who's in town.
And does your father
Have
know
we-
of Petra's disappearance?
He does.
Have we been the
I
only
apologize
peop-
if anyone hears my wife shrieking in the background. She's playing Final Fantasy 16 for the first time.
Ah,
Oh, nice.
many nerd screams.
Has anybody else asked about the druid?
One of the gray men did, but they really think they were just trying to deliver something to him.
The Gray Man?
The gray men.
Yeah,
What are the gray?
that little messenger guild.
And they want, and they're looking for him to deliver something.
I assume. Rarely see them doing anything else.
Is this particular courier still in the village?
No. After I told him that he went into the city, he went into the city.
Oh. Did you happen to know this particular gray man by name?
Now, they have a habit of keeping their scarves on. That old saying, "Don't kill the messenger," goes a long way when you don't let people see the messenger's face.
Nah.
I understand that. Sometimes identities are not important.
No, no.
And
when
sometimes not
business
knowing
is
the identity is enough to keep someone from killing you. After all, if you happen to grab a noble, you'd much rather send them in one piece rather than just their head.
I'm sure our little friend here would beg to differ on some occasions.
You're trying to imply something?
You just seem very happy to how do I put this? Deliver justice.
I'm just used to getting what I want.
Fair enough.
Goddamn goblins.
It's 11.
I'm not giving you any Dr. Pepper now.
Was that aimed at me?
Who the fuck else would it be aimed at?
Hey, I have my own Dr. Pepper. I don't need yours.
I'm gonna steal one of y'all's Dr. Wait.
I have more
Moose.
barbecue
Hun-
chicken.
Oh yeah? Well,
You know,
spaghetti, bitch.
I have
I was
spaghetti in the
about to.
cabinet.
I don't.
And
Ah,
I was
meatballs.
about
is it
to
made?
steal the strawberries and cream out from Moose, but that chicken.
Yeah, I just want to point out that Zig is an evil person. He has now made me an addict for strawberries and cream Dr. Pepper and Kraken. So thank you for that.
What about
you
the
hear about-
Reese's bombs?
Oh,
What?
I
See,
haven't.
The peanut butter whiskey with
Oh
mudslide
yes,
mix.
yes, yes. Okay,
What-
yes. That
what-
that
what-
that shit is
what?
amazing.
that sounds
You take
See-
mudslide mix, then you add a shot or two of peanut butter whiskey to it.
I'm just
Oh,
telling you,
like
the
a sweet
combination
balls?
of peanut butter whiskey and cream soda. That is the most dangerous fucking combination I've ever had.
It is.
Alrighty, let's
Right.
get back on track.
We had.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, sorry.
Anything else you want to ask him?
I did, but my.
This is why we try not to get distracted, but ADHD's a
Alright.
bitch.
Yeah.
Either of you two want the map?
Oh, are you
The
asking us?
map.
Sorry.
I would like the map if I could.
Yeah, I will. Yes, I will politely ask for a map.
I would like the map. Yeah.
Okay, I'll hand over the gold, and one of you two can take the map.
Alright.
All right.
I. What? Okay. Do you want the map, Huntersman?
One of the things that
Um,
makes the official book process of this a little off to me is that they don't put emphasis on how important a fucking map in this city actually is.
Yes, I will. I will take the map. By the way. Sure.
All right. Just know I'll be bothering your ear for it.
When
I
aren't you
actually have
bothering me?
images of these people that I can.
You're not acting weird.
No, it's under the lieutenant's tab.
Well, I have no more questions. I just look over at Ansem and tell him my duty is to protect the people no matter where they travel. By my oath to Arwen, dead or alive, your sister will be found. This I promise.
I look at him. I look at Hanson and I have worked with your father and the Hooded Lanterns. I will make sure that your sister comes home safe.
I realized there's actually official tokens for these characters in the book, so I could put them on the map so people can see.
Oh, cool. Hanson? Is that what it is?
Handsome.
Bro looks like what's his face from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Orlando Bloom?
Is that who I'm
yes.
maybe.
Yeah. You thinking of Will Turner?
Yeah.
Legolas?
Yep, that.
Yeah.
Yep, that's Orlando. And he's the son, so he'd be Drexel. So Petra Drexel. Right.
Fucking Blackjack Mel looks like Ryan Haywood, which makes me even more ready to hate him.
Petra's the missing Hooding Lantern. This
Yep.
is whatever, Drexel.
Yeah, and some Drexel.
So, Anson.
Well, Ansem Lang.
And some Lion.
Oh, he's not this son?
Oh, he is the son, just goes by a different last name, I guess.
Adoption exists in this world.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Keon burned down all the
Okay.
orphanages.
Different universe. I'm not having you meet the other party. I have other adventures for you assholes to meet. Anything else you want to try to scrape from this guy?
I don't know. Let's see. Have there been any sightings of strange anomalies or creatures around the vicinity of this village?
No. We typically don't see anything more, or we don't see anything that you'd expect in the city more than half a mile away from the city. It's almost like the haze keeps everything in.
So, you're thinking that whatever took Petra wasn't a monster or a unholy creature? Do you believe that people did this?
Or at least something with human type intelligence. If it was a monster, it would have eaten her, and we'd at least find clothes or bones or her weapons.
Is there anyone else in this town that might have a better sight line or more details on her disappearance?
I don't know. I've asked all the adventurers I could find, and none of them really have any extra information.
Alright, well, I personally don't have any more questions.
If you might be able to find information about your druid friend from some of the adventurers, though.
Do you have anybody in mind?
Oh, there is that band of Jones boys in town. That little crew from Caspia came in maybe 3 days ago.
Where'd we find those?
What I hear, the Amethyst Academy has them renting out a room down at the Red Lion Hotel. Just down the street over there. And he points at the big building with the red roof.
This one?
No, west.
Yeah, like, right here.
The place shaped like an E.
And okay.
Ah,
Then Amethyst Academy has a place here?
All the factions do, actually.
Oh, God.
It's a hub town. What do you expect?
That's cool.
met representatives of 3 so far.
The book recommends that you meet at least 3 before I let you in the city.
Mhm.
And funny enough, you
Where's
did
the-
meet the prerequisite for me to give you a level up.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
It's recommended that I get you to at least level 3 before you start doing some of the more dangerous shit.
Hey, I'm all about that.
Level 1 to 2 really isn't that hard to do either. I think it's just like you get an extra build or an extra gimmick, some hit dice, and that's it.
Yeah, well, with how fucking hard shit hits in this campaign, it's gonna be very well appreciated.
You
I
know,
don't even know now. You say that, I'm scared.
you know what's bad, Moose?
Hmm.
I've been holding your hand in the other one.
Yeah, I know. Don't remind me.
In
The
this
ring
one,
of
it
protection
pays
was
to
a
make
very
people's
obvious
death
cry for-
entertaining.
That ring of protection was just a nice little handhold, you know? I very much appreciate it.
I feel like Timmy's gonna lose a leg.
Well,
no more dishes to save your bacon in this one.
Yeah, no plus 30 to charisma checks.
fucking Christ.
I don't.
Don't worry, I'm sure Sprock will be his own special kind of nuke.
I'm pretty sure Sprock's gonna be able to survive a nuke.
That wouldn't surprise me. Well, what, do we think we should go over to the Red Lion?
Yeah, well, we can take a run there for the night at least. Maybe talk to some people while we rest.
Sounds good to me. I do not
I
need
agree.
rest, but it appears that you two require it.
I can rest
And,
wherever.
and of course, we haven't talked, so I don't really know much about you, right?
Yeah, I haven't really asked names yet.
So
If
my-
you're gonna go over there to
Wouldn't-
rest, you can have yourselves a little moment to get to know each other.
I'm down.
What? Huh? What? You seemed a little flustered there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Ah, all right. And what do you mean you don't need rest?
Ever since my resurrection from Arwen, the normal needs of a mortal man mean nothing to me. I need not eat, sleep, nor rest. Meditation is my
No, the
only
whole-
sustenance.
The whole gods haven't talked for a long while. At least I haven't heard anything.
The non-faithful often don't hear what their patrons wish. Even less would choose to state it for fear of being called mad.
You're implying something.
Hunter's Moon just kind of squints his eyes. Is that an accusation?
Are you implying something again? So
I'm going to disregard your ramblings as a need for sleep.
Well, I will say I do respect your honor to your old gods.
Hey, I'm Drakkenheim. Your voice sounds familiar. Have we met before?
Not to my recollection. I think I would remember someone as impression making as you.
Yes, something just seems familiar about you. I'm quite pleased though.
I agree with the god.
Tell you what, you guys can make a roll to see if you can possibly make a clue to the voice. I want to keep the mystery going longer, but I want to see if it is familiar for both of you.
I was thinking of what would
Insight would be
would
the
get
one.
some drama. Okay, might get some drama.
You don't have to roll if you don't want to. That's up to you. 16.
You would know. Okay. I assume that I determine what this is.
You determine how much you want to give away at the moment. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You would notice. Bastille would notice a very familiar, almost stern, guttural tone that my voice has, and you know, it immediately clicks in your head that no matter what I have said, you have seen me before. You know it in your gut. You just don't know who I am. But the more that you can hear my voice, the more that you might be able to piece it together. And Sprock, you would notice that I seem to be hiding behind this mask for not necessarily protection of my own identity, but knowing that I personally don't disclose my identity for it doesn't matter to me. But you do notice that the voice is familiar, and you could have sworn that you heard it at one point near your home.
It's. I'm guessing we're going sleeping through the night.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's around sundown when you hear a light tapping on the window outside of your room, and there's just a very crudely made envelope stuck in the frame.
Are we all in the same room, or is it this particular room?
Unless you want to pay 30 gold.
I think okay.
No,
All in the same room.
we use a common room.
Yeah.
Yeah, we use the common room.
Common room. Yep. And there's an envelope in the window.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go check on that thing.
It is a envelope held closed with what smells like tree sap.
Oh. I give a little. They see my nose nudge with a little disgust. This smells weird.
How old is this envelope?
Brand new.
Brand new. Okay.
Yeah.
And does it have any writing on it?
It does.
Like a seal?
It doesn't have a seal. It's just kind of held very slightly closed with what you would assume is like a little bit of dripping of tree sap.
Yeah. I open it up and see what's in it.
What was that survival roll for?
Was Spock see if he could recognize what sort of tree the sap came from, but yeah, if I roll that low, probably not.
I would say that it'd probably be maple.
Oh, okay.
I don't even
I
require
say that
food
because
anymore, and the
maple
smell
sap
making
is
me hungry.
maple sap is a very distinct smell.
Oh yeah.
I was unaware that Canada was canon to Drakkenheim.
The inside of the envelope is a very crudely written note that says limited time offer tour of Emberwood for 1 gold or offer see Emma Crow.
I read this out to my crew, my fellow mates. Emma, you said Emma Crow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Emma Crow.
And where is she? Did it say?
It does not.
Okay.
So we'll just have to look for her when we're done here.
Mm-hmm. And the Emberwood tour.
What was this? I mean, okay, Zig, because I'm a little unclear on this. I know I just rolled for or not really rolled, but I got a memory. Every time I rest, I have to make a roll for some kind of memory. I'm pretty sure that is like 1 per rest or something like that if we're resting.
Yeah, and I'm the one who decides what you get.
Okay.
Just usually, to start off, it's going to be like real vague shit, things about history that, while it might be known, it's not, details aren't known of it. So, like, you might know about the meteor hitting, but it might be the image of the meteor actually striking the city, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, it's good that all the heavy shit will be paced out. I like that. That's good.
I mean, you've seen how I DM.
Yeah. Fucking that Keon's arc is amazing. I just gotta say that, Zig.
The best thing is that it's not even done yet.
I know.
Alright. It's around sunrise when you hear the clanks and clatters of tables being moved in the main hall. And you hear a few different distinct voices talking, but you can't really... It's fairly easy to ignore so long as you're in your room.
I'll just creak my door open a little bit and try and listen. That would be a perception check.
Yep.
Shit.
I'm gonna sneak my ear. Kind of put myself kind of up by Hunter's Moon.
Sprock and Hunter are almost 90% sure that they said, or someone said, need to get the lotions back on the table, otherwise he's never going to hear. Actually, all 3 of you are sure you hear that.
I better not see any livers and Chiantis in this place.
They better put the lotion back in
Yes,
the basket.
liver and
That's all
fava
I'm saying.
beans. Never saw that movie, by the way.
Oh, well, that's another one for the list.
All right. I'm even going to put it on the notes here.
I mean, we got a fucking spreadsheet for that.
I'm pretty sure Timmy doesn't know about that.
Yeah, we have a spreadsheet of movies that people are going to force me to watch eventually.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
I've made the most contributions to this list.
I might add a few.
Are any of you actually going to leave the room or no?
Yeah, I'll head out of the room. I'll join where the people are putting the the tables back and everything, and just kind of
you see a man being carried in, put onto a table, and he's bleeding pretty heavily.
I rush over to where this man was placed and look at the people carrying him in. What happened?
He was attacked in the city. He was on his horse when he got here, but I don't know how long he's been unconscious.
What did I do?
You see a ashy gray-skinned tiefling with blue hair ordering people around and yelling at someone, "Where's the damn potions?"
What potion are you talking about?
We have healing potions somewhere in the basement. I've told someone to get them, but they said that they can't find them.
Allow me to spare them the effort. I will cast Cure Wounds on them. And I will also do a... Ah! I will also do a medicine check. Oh, shit!
His wounds do close, or at least enough to stop the bleeding. But he still seems very, his breathing is still a bit shaky. River looks over him, and after a couple moments, nods at you and says, "Thank you, good cleric. I think he might actually survive the night, or survive till tomorrow now."
If there's any other assistance you require, you need but to ask. And while I am standing here talking to you, might I ask you your name?
River.
River. Do you know any other details about this attack?
No. If you give me a bit of time, I might be able to inspect the wounds a little better, though. Clearly a number of puncture wounds, but I can't tell until we clean them off.
Keep me in the know. I will be here.
Is there anything I could do to thank you for this?
Well, I don't mean to burden you any further, but since you asked, we're on a mission to look for a druid of the Raven Grove who passed through town over to the edge of the city by the river. Do you happen to know anyone of that description?
She goes through her book, and after a couple moments, after a few moments, she says, "I have seen 4 druids in the last 2 months. Do you have a time frame?"
Over the last few days or so. He came in rather quick and left just as fast.
Black hair, green and purple eyes, had raven feathers in his hair, and carrying a black oaken staff. Sound about right?
That would be our man.
He said he was looking for someone who knew about the crystal, someone who had experience with it.
We were told
Go-
told that he was looking for a prince of the city, as he so called him.
There's a couple going by that name. Did you just say my name? Fucking Spring. But if you... I don't know anyone who goes by that title, but I don't like to go into the city itself either. There's titles being grabbed and thrown all over this area. I'm sure you know that the Civil War is a fairly messy business.
I don't believe I would. You see, I haven't been around long.
She nods for a moment and calls over for a man by the name of Ezekiel. Ezekiel comes over. She shows him the her book, and he throws up an image using the minor illusion spell. It's specifically the druid staff. It has the likeness of a raven, or a raven skull carved into the head of the staff, and what looks like a bird's foot at the bottom of it. Daisy, come on. Oh.
This doesn't look familiar to me, but I might know someone who might. I call over Bastille.
Sorry, Daisy was stuck at the door. She's just a poor baby.
What happened, dude?
Get
What
off my
happened?
head!
What happened down here?
Oh, you know, nothing. Man bleeding out. I saved his life. Thank you for showing up, by the way.
You're welcome. What do you need of me?
I just point in the direction of the illusion of the staff.
If you happen to see this staff, this would be the marker of the druid that you're looking for. Our notes say that those of the Raven Grove have to carve and, well, for lack of better terms, decorate their staves to represent their faith.
Wait, is it it has a skull of a crow, and then does it also have a feather?
It has what looks like a foot. It has the skull on one end of it and the foot on the other. And a couple different. It is a blackened oak staff, or a blackened oak quarterstaff.
Can I make it? Is it a Morgan?
Yeah.
Aha! Can I want to like investigate the staff or something? Like,
There's
how, like,
not much you
remember?
can really tell, considering it's just a minor illusion.
A minor illusion.
Yeah.
And I tell. So it is the marker.
It's the staff of the druid that you're looking for.
Oh. Now I know our druid we're looking for is a follower of Morgan, one of the old gods.
Aren't you
At
Go
that
ahead, sorry.
moment, Sprock comes out, kind of still half asleep. Oh, of course, he's Raven Brother. They all worship Morgan.
Hunter's Moon just kind of jumps up because you just came up right behind him. Can you stop hiding?
I'm not hiding.
Did
Well,
you not see?
Okay, I was
Stand in a
sitting
place
onto
where I
my
can consistently see you.
I heard his grumbling goblin noises from here.
bed. Anyway, what are you Longshanks doing?
Working, lazy bones.
Working.
Sprock, at this moment, you would be able to see the man on the table, covered in blood.
What happened to him?
An attack of unknown origin. I stabilized him as best as I could, but to be honest, any help that you could give him would be good.
Do I? I don't think I have anything. I would want to help him, but I don't.
More experience with taking lives than giving them.
I guess I'm gonna have to have the piousness for all of us.
Let me have a look, see if I can at least figure out what happened. Can I do a survival check to see if I can see what sort of beast may have attacked him?
There
Let's see.
are a couple very distinct bite marks around his leg and on his arm. And there's the main wound on his stomach seems to have gone completely through. Can't really get like a great look at it considering he was healed up a little bit, but you can kind of line up how the wound could have gone through, or how the item could have gone through.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, with an 18, you'd be able to tell that he was hit with something a bit heavy, so something like a spear.
No animal like
Oh,
this.
wait,
Looks like someone attacked him with a spear.
a weapon. So
How
you said
is the guy conscious right now? Probably not.
He is not conscious. He, honestly, he might not be conscious until the next morning.
and nobody in there really saw what happened, right?
He came into town alone.
And he came in. Oh, okay.
Rivers says if it wasn't for the hooded lanterns, we might have not been able to get to him in time.
Why did they fight this beast off?
Now they just spotted his horse coming into town, and he fell off the horse maybe 200 to 300 yards outside of town. They saw from the watchtower, ran out and got him. When they saw him wearing our robes, they got our attention immediately.
I don't like this. A man on a horse, beaten and stabbed almost brutally to death. This sounds like a message.
You know, Moon and Spock, do you think it has anything to do with the envelope?
What envelope?
I was talking to Mom.
Hmm.
Should I?
Okay.
I mean, you could bring up the
What were they gonna
envelope.
Ask him about the envelope.
Are you saying that out loud or trying to say it privately to someone else in the party?
I was gonna like private say it to Hunter's Moon.
What about the envelope?
That do you think this is connected to the envelope?
It could be, but I would hold off the speculation until we have more information. I look towards River. Would you happen to know where a Madame Crow would be?
She looks at you for a second. It's like, Adam, oh, the Crone Sons. Yeah, it's the smithy just down the road to the right. Why, did you have an argument with them?
No, nothing of the sort. Just passing by information is all.
Silver circle for Crone Sons, although that's kind of hard to see.
I honestly thought that crow was referring to a person.
Well, it's CROWE.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I think that's what I even put down, yeah.
River, might I ask what you're doing all the way out here in this remote village?
Every now and then we have others from the Amethyst Academy coming through, so we like to bring them in here, prep them for the situation within the city if they chose to go in, or we go to the market and buy delirium from those who come out. We happen to know the last owner of the hotel and offer to buy it from them. That way they could leave the city and get away from the haze.
And where did you say that this attack happened?
We aren't sure. He has... Oh. I accidentally hit the plus on my keyboard and made Zoom didn't scare the fuck out of me like I did something. This man has clear signs of exposure to delirium or the haze, so I would suspect it happened with inside Drakkenheim. She points out to a few different spots on his body where you can see his veins bulging out a little bit with a bit of a purplish orange glow. And she pulls his eyelid open with her two fingers, and you can actually see there's 3 pupils in his eye.
And this is caused by delirium and the haze.
Yes. And if you happen to come across it, it'd be best to keep your distance unless you're able to safely bring it to us. If you do bring it to us, we will pay you.
If I ever stumble across any, I'll be sure to keep that in mind. Does anyone know where this delirium came from?
The Academy believes it came from the meteor that hit. We aren't entirely sure of its origin or even its makeup, but it started showing up maybe a year or so after the meteor hit.
Damn meteor.
Can't believe that the city has survived like this since it crashed.
Well, if you can call it surviving.
I have to agree with your very fierce friend there. The city isn't a place to go for enjoyment. This is a place for the brave, bold, and foolish alike to go, thinking that they'll make something of themselves.
Or you just grow up there.
Mm-hmm.
That's for the unlucky few who don't have a choice, yeah.
When you have nothing, you have very few choices.
Nevertheless, the people of this land deserve protection, even if they die swiftly.
She, looks at the man and says, I'm gonna have we're gonna have someone move him to a more private room. If you want, I can give you updates. It's on his recovery. It's the least I could do for someone who saved his life.
Please do. I want to know as soon as he is awake and lucid.
Bugging the hell out of me. He didn't have a nameplate on his token. That was bugging the hell out of me.
Oh, sorry, man.
No, that's something I was trying to set up for you.
And is there anything else that you can tell us about our druid quarry?
No, I'm usually cooped up in here if I'm not talking to others at the academy. It's a lot more private in here. Unless someone has interest in magic or scrolls, I usually don't have to deal with anyone.
I've always found that I'm a bit too blunt for magic.
Alright, well, if there's anything else you need, I'm sure you'll find someone who can help you.
Thank you.
I appreciate the information, River. And please, keep me updated for when he awakes.
She nods her head and follows a couple of the newer mages into carrying the man into one of the back rooms.
Oh shit, she took him to the back rooms.
Oh no.
Could be worse. Could have taken him to the SCP Foundation.
So, what's this about an envelope?
Still?
Oh, I didn't hear.
What's
God,
this
this
about an
envelope here, or hand the envelope to Sprock.
Where'd this come from?
He was stuck in the window when we awake.
Let's say in the morning we go visit this crow.
I agree. I think we've done all that we can here.
I'm gonna go back to sleep till morning.
Hunter's Moon just closes his door, and because he has no need for sleep, he just sits on the floor and closes his eyes and mutters, faithful, Arwen faithful scripture to himself, and is in a almost trance-like state.
Spot crawls underneath his bed, back underneath his bed, and pulls his blanket over him, and is asleep within seconds.
Before I go to bed, I sit down and do a little prayer to Morgan, and then I go and on head to Betty Bye. Hunter's Moon.
The next couple hours pass with very little going on. It's not until closer to noon that you start hearing more activity out in the hallway.
I wake up and I go see what's making this noise.
It seems to be mostly people leaving their rooms for the day and just getting ready for the rest of the day.
Ah. Really made me worried.
I'll give you plenty of reasons to worry in this campaign.
No, don't say that, man.
Garmir with ballistas.
And
If anyone is looking in my direction, you would notice a luminescent pale glow coming from underneath the door to my room as well.
Well, we're in a common room, so we're all
Yeah.
in the same.
Oh, yeah, my bad. So then I'm just glowing, just sitting there.
I just look over and and being a little shocked that I see him glowing right in front of me.
Sleepy voice comes from underneath the bed. Oh, turn off the light and give me 5 more minutes.
I don't know if I want to touch him.
Well, right now, he can't even hear you.
I go,
I'm assuming you're all getting up for the rest of the day then?
mm-hmm.
As as his meditation approaches an end, you can hear him talking, almost as if he's talking to someone who you can't see, and you hear him mutter the words, "I will not fail in my duty, Mother Arwen. It will be done." And then he opens his eyes, stops glowing, and then looks at you both. What? Mostly at Bastille, because he's looking at me. What?
Looks like you're in a trance there. Just a little curious, that's all.
You'll have to pardon me. I was communing with Arwen, and she's understandably giving me the silent treatment.
Don't mind me being curious. I've never heard of my old god has never talked. I just never heard of an old god speaking to another.
As I've stated before, the truly faithful often don't hear. And mostly neither do I. It's an instinct of sorts. I just know when she's displeased.
Would the injured dude still be downstairs, or would he be somewhere else?
It's still the same day. It's maybe a matter of like 4 or 5 hours afterwards.
Yeah, I'd say the guy is fucking just cooked. He's done for right now.
I was gonna see if he's awake or not.
I'll join you in checking up on him.
You see River in his room, looking over him.
Any progress?
Well, his breathing is stabilized, and we are arranging with someone from the Silver Order to treat the contamination. But he's still unconscious for now, which might be for the better. After looking through him, I found a number of... found a few different teratomas attached to his skin. And it's not entirely... It looks painful. I'm hoping that we can get the Silver Order here to treat this before he wakes up.
I have a little visible frustration in my eyes.
If you go back into town, it would help a lot if you could remind them politely that we have someone heavily contaminated that needs to be taken care of.
Need not ask twice. We'll see to it.
Thank you.
I walk over to where the man is laying, and with the paints and the oils that I marked on the wall earlier, I place a smaller symbol of Arwen upon his forehead, and whisper a few things into his ear, and then I bow my head towards River and exit the room.
She nods towards you and investigates the symbol for a brief moment before going back to her journal.
He was still unconscious, right?
Yeah.
No, okay. Okay, investigating dude in a coma.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got a lot to say.
A lot, man.
I mean, having teratomas is not fun.
Does that sound like?
If you're squeamish, don't Google it.
Yeah, they're not great. it,
I will save you a Google search. They are a type of tumor that can grow teeth, nails, hair. Yeah.
My sister's
Thanks.
a nurse. I'm scarred for life anyway.
Thank you. I am so glad I did not have to look. I would have.
Yeah, if you hear stories of people like growing teeth out of their feet or whatever, it's a teratoma.
Well, what are we?
What people
Just
think
about
athlete's foot actually is.
we're just about at that 3-hour mark.
Yeah. I think it would actually be a fairly safe place to end this here.
And then next session we can have our fourth player join us at the end.
Yep.
Yeah.
And our
Yeah.
lovely cast, including the one who missed, will be allowed to level up their characters to level 2.
Woot woot.
So, for tonight, I will say thank you for watching, good night, and remember, someone loves you.